Okay, so here's a topic that has always baffled me. Are AAA video games really that expensive to make? Now, you hear that from a lot of AAA developers like Warner Bros. And you got EA and stuff like that. They always, they want to add their microtransactions and their crazy special editions because they really pretty much want to milk the money out of you. That's the actual honest reason why it's there. But they use that as a guard or an excuse to say that video games are too hard and too expensive to make. I find that kind of funny because I've seen video games like Horizon Zero Dawn who have they've got like a stupidly high budget in multiple millions. That game doesn't have stupid microtransactions in that. It's just got a base game. It had a DLC later on in its life cycle. Later on, developed after the game actually was released. So I can respect that. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn, I might have a little bit of bias. That is an excellent game, and I recommend you buy it if you have a PS4. And basically, everyone has a PS4 at this point. But anyway, that game has a stupid high budget, and they managed to release it. And it did damn well. They obviously made a good amount of coin off it, and I can imagine Guerrilla Studios making a similar sort of title, or maybe a sequel. I don't think that game is like the sequel kind of game, but it could happen. But the thing is, that just proves right there that you don't need to add microtransactions or DLC or whatever the hell crazy practices to get money off your game. I don't need to list all the stupid AAA developers or publishers. Sorry, publishers are the worst of them. I don't need to list them all. You know who they are, but you really gotta consider that they're really doing it just to milk money. And there's a lot of gullible, casual gamers out there who will gobble up as much as they can off a single game. I tell you what, GTA could have been really bad, since that is pretty much the most popular game of the generation. They really could have hammered you with a lot of crazy stuff, but that game isn't as egregious in terms of microtransactions as you think. But it's still got some things going though. But the thing is, you have these really crazy special editions, and Ubisoft is the worst when it comes to these special editions. They have I swear they have 5 different special limited editions for every single game they make. I'm not kidding. They have ones with exclusive content in that. So they might have secret missions in one, and then they might have a statue or something in the other. And in order to get everything, all the missions and DLC special stuff, you'll need to get every single one of those special editions. And the thing is, some of those special editions don't even have a game. That's number one right there. That is a number one reason why it's not as expensive as you think to make video games. If you're making special editions that straight up have no video game in it, if you're not making physical copies of games, sometimes there's not even physical copies of games. So that's another thing to consider, because of course that also costs money to do physical games. But that's another thing in of itself. But you got that is a really annoying thing I hate about this generation. I like special editions. I'm not gonna lie, I like them when they come out. Not if they're stupid expensive, or if they got some crazy stupid wristband or some stupid stickers. Come on, we don't want that. We want something worth keeping, like a figurine or a statue. And a lot of special editions are really garbage, I'll tell you what. But that's one hint that it's not as expensive as you think. Another thing is microtransactions. Obviously, that is a straight up excuse. Video games are too expensive is a straight up excuse to throw microtransactions in games. I absolutely don't condone microtransactions at all. I don't believe you're supporting developers by buying microtransactions or anything. They're literally there to milk the shit out of you. It's that simple. The thing about loot boxes, I've done a video on loot boxes alone. That is even more disgusting than straight up microtransactions that you can buy straight off the store. The thing, like, you gotta seriously, a random RNG chance to get something by paying money, that is absolutely obscene. And they do it, they force it on you. I mean, they make it so hard to get these loot boxes in game. They really shaft you. They make you, if you really want some good loot, you then kind of make you want to buy it. And then that's obvious, like, they're trying to get money off you. They're not trying to break even or make money from the game. No, they're definitely making money from the game because they're very popular publishers / developers, and people are going to buy their game regardless. It's going to sell very well. So I guarantee if they got rid of special editions, they got rid of microtransactions, they would make money on the game. And whatever they're telling you is pretty much all lies. That's the funny thing about the industry, the gaming industry. It's full of absolute liars. You can't trust a lot of developers. There's very few developers that you can really trust. But the ones that you can trust, they usually produce very good games. So you've got to be thankful for that. So microtransactions and loot boxes is a very hideous practice that happens in this industry, and it's just proof that they're sort of milking you as opposed to trying to make money on their game. Obviously, like, if you've got passion, like, if you're confident that your game is good enough to sell a lot, then the game should be good. If you're chucking in microtransactions and special editions and that, not just special editions, I mean very expensive ones, multiple ones, it's obviously not as good as a product as they think it is. They don't have enough confidence in their product to sell if they didn't have these damn microtransactions and stuff. And you can see it in the industry. You see good developed games, they get very well received. Obviously they're not as popular as some of the other AAA games, like let's say Anthem in the future. I mean, Anthem's gonna sell like a stupid a lot when that comes out. Whether it's end of this year or 2019, I doubt it's this year, which is 2018. I'm scared of that game, by the way. I'm not going to get into that. But you got some things like The Division that was obviously looked upon as a very popular game. Or Destiny. Destiny did also very well. And games like that, you know, they're lacking. They're honestly lacking by the lack of in-game content, sort of ripped out. They're just straight up ripped out and sold to you, and that's what I hate the most. It is developer laziness, and also it's not always developer laziness. Okay, I'm not blaming this on developers and that. The people who make the games themselves, I don't have a problem with them. It's their job, it's their passion to make video games, create them. That's all well and done. And then you got the publishers who they're the ones who got the puppet strings going. They're the ones who are controlling the industry completely, controlling the developers and the development of games. That's a problem. It's mostly to blame is the publishers. And it is really scary, but I think we're at the worst of it at the moment. It can't really get much worse than this until they go to this whole route of I can't remember, but it's like a subscription base where you pay for a license or whatever, and you can play all the games that the certain publisher has or whatever. I don't know. Like Xbox Pass or whatever, if you can really remember that. I don't know. But that's really all I can say. There is other things on my mind. I think I've really covered the meanest part of this industry. in terms of actually making money on video games. But I don't think it's like a huge problem. And I think a lot of, if you just make a good product, you can make good money on it. You just look at Nintendo; they don't shove these things down people's throats. They just straight up put their game out there, and they're confident that it'll sell well. Because they have confidence in their fan base, the fan base has confidence in Nintendo. Good synergy between the fan base and the developers equals good profit. It's really that simple. But that's all I'm going to say for now. So, of course, tell me what you think in the comments below. Subscribe for more content on gaming and Nintendo stuff. Follow me on Twitter as well, and I'll see you in the next video.